courtroom discussions.
Yeah, you hit it right on the...
Is it crash now? It is the question. Need some time, but it looks like it was a problem. Maybe what we should do is say bad discussion. Why did this not hit that? Made up response to hung up. Fresh. Continue. Yeah.
Hey there, welcome back. Today we're going deep on something that's really at the forefront of a lot of discussions right now. We're talking about IT and AI, and more specifically conversational AI, and how it's starting to really show up in all facets of what we do in the university, whether it's teaching, research, community service, and even those oh so important promotion discussions.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head. And you've pulled together a really interesting collection of YouTube video transcripts, a real mix there of business insights, some actual tech demos, and then even that educational perspective, which I think is so key for our audience. And so what we really want to do today is kind of mine those transcripts for those practical takeaways. You know, how is IT and AI actually being talked about, and what could that mean for you, our listener, in your work day to day, and even, you know, kind of longer term in your career at the university?
Okay, so maybe we just dive right in. One of the things that really jumped out at me right off the bat is this idea of AI assistants and chatbots. There was a really cool demo of an AI called Lucy, designed for company use, and it could handle these messages like with different tones. It could go from energetic to professional, and then it could send notifications, you know, like through email or text. So I'm kind of curious, how do you see something like that potentially playing out in a university setting, you know, for our listeners?
Well, I think what's really intriguing to think about here is how something like that could really streamline a lot of those kind of routine interactions that we all have, right? So just imagine, you know...
Oh, our listeners got something to share. Let's hear it.
Yeah, Lucy is an AI caller that can handle inbound and outbound calls.
That's right, and it was fascinating to see it in action in that YouTube video.
What's really interesting is thinking beyond just taking messages.
Exactly. The demo also showed how you could essentially train Lucy.
You could point it at a website URL.
And then it could pull information from that site.
That way it could answer questions. It's pretty clever.
And you can even select specific pages.
Right, and customize.
Oh, back to our listener. What's up?
In that respect, it can interrogate the faculty manual of the university to evaluate consistency.
Absolutely, that's a fantastic point.
Okay, let's unpack this. So you're thinking that an AI like Lucy could be pointed at something like the university's faculty manual.
Precisely. Think about how much information is contained in those documents, policies on everything.
And trying to find the exact answer you need can sometimes feel like going down a rabbit hole.
Right, but imagine being able to ask an AI assistant a specific question about faculty responsibilities or promotion guidelines.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Because in one of the YouTube transcripts, they were talking about the need for faculty to easily access and understand university policies.
Exactly. One of the speakers mentioned the hours they had to invest to understand a specific policy.
And they wished there was a central place where this information could be synthesized.
So an AI trained on the faculty manual could potentially serve that purpose.
It could provide quick and accurate answers to frequently asked questions about university regulations.
And as that speaker noted, yep, go on.
And simplify the language to a layman language rather than the legalese that nobody can understand and nobody wants to read.
That's a really insightful point.
Okay, so instead of all that complicated policy jargon,
You're suggesting the AI could rephrase it,
make it easier to grasp, more straightforward.
almost like translating it into plain English.
That makes so much sense.
Because if the goal is quick understanding,
Then clear and simple language is key.
absolutely. And you could even train a chatbot
To use that simplified language consistently.
on your lab's website, for example,
Or even a collection of your published work.
or details about your ongoing projects.
It would be such a more accessible way.
For other researchers or potential partners,
Even the general public could quickly understand.
the key aspects of your work. That's a great angle.
And you could definitely extend that to outreach.
If you're involved in community engagement,
A chatbot using clear language on your project site.
could answer initial questions about getting involved.
Or how to find the resources they need.
It really breaks down those communication barriers,
Right, it becomes an always available info point.
which is incredibly valuable.
Now, the discussion in those videos also touched on,
Generative AI and its creative possibilities,
especially for making different kinds of content.
and even for marketing purposes,
They showed examples of creating different artwork.
for things like graphic design and those little intro videos.
You know, the short animations you see in podcasts.
There was even mention of AI creating music variations.
For promotional use. It's quite something.
It is fascinating how creative AI is becoming.
So thinking about this creative aspect of AI,
How could our listeners use it in their daily work
well, the potential to really boost your communication is huge.
to significantly improve how you present your ideas?
Think about teaching, for example.
You could use AI to generate clear diagrams,
Really understandable visual aids.
to explain those more complex concepts.
Making your teaching materials much more accessible.
Oh, yeah,
And also give a break to professors that sometimes have to teach for 4 hours non-stop.
That's a really important point. It absolutely could be exhausting to teach for that long.
And thinking about how AI could help there,
In the transcripts, they mentioned how technology could streamline tasks.
freeing up time and energy for faculty,
You know, creating those diagrams we were just talking about.
instead of spending hours on them yourself,
AI could generate those visuals quickly.
leaving you more energy for those long teaching blocks
You could create easy to understand visuals.
to showcase your research findings clearly,
In presentations or when you publish your work.
increasing the impact of what you do.
Yeah.
Especially for foreign faculty that have a heavy accent from Chinese to Iranians to Arabic to African, AI can simplify the language to American accent.
That's a really interesting application of AI.
Okay, let's unpack this. So you're thinking,
That AI could potentially help with communication.
by modifying accents in real time,
It's definitely a fascinating possibility to consider.
especially in a diverse university setting,
Think about the potential for clear communication.
and reducing potential misunderstandings.
It could certainly be a supportive tool.
Now, thinking about the creative side of AI,
How could our listeners use it in their daily work?
well, the potential to really boost your communication is huge.
To significantly improve how you present your ideas.
Think about teaching, for example.
You could use AI to generate clear diagrams,
Really understandable visual aids,
to explain those more complex concepts.
making your teaching materials much more accessible.
Yeah, so many students respond well to visuals.
Clear visuals could make a real difference.
helping them truly grasp the material.
Absolutely. And even for community service initiatives.
Quickly create engaging flyers and posts.
For social media to get the word out about events.
Really expand your reach in the community.
It's almost like having your own design assistant.
Which is
Oh, go for it.
Especially events like quizzes and exams that are going to affect the students as well as the faculty promotion.
That's a really critical point.
absolutely high-stakes events.
And in the transcripts, they talked about AI in education.
Specifically mentioning using AI to create test questions.
But it was also emphasized that the quality still matters.
The AI is a tool, not a replacement for expertise.
You still need that human oversight.
To ensure the questions are fair and accurate,
And thinking about grading those assessments.
tools like GradeScoper. Hey, yeah, what's up?
And you can join in an expert just like in Notebook LM.
That's a really interesting thought.
Okay, let's unpack this idea of bringing in more expertise.
It definitely aligns with the spirit of collaboration.
In one of the videos, there was a discussion.
About the value of different departments working together,
You know, like finance connecting with fintech.
or healthcare collaborating with other relevant fields.
The speaker highlighted that even if one department
Holds the primary appointment, there's a value
in offering secondary appointments,
to foster that cross-disciplinary approach.
so bringing in another expert could definitely enrich.
The perspectives and insights we're exploring,
It's all about creating those connections.
and leveraging different areas of knowledge.
Now, thinking about those assessments,
Tools can certainly help in identifying patterns,
highlighting common errors, for example.
freeing up your time for deeper engagement with students.
Now, oh yeah, let's hear it.
Also, the assessment of faculty members in promotion review discussions.
That's a really interesting point to bring up.
Absolutely, the assessment process is so vital.
And in one of the transcripts, they actually dove into that
They were discussing the creation of a guidance document
for a faculty member going up for promotion
and the real challenge of providing that feedback,
without making promises or guarantees, of course.
because those promotion decisions can evolve.
They also touched on the importance of understanding,
The university requirements for promotion,
breaking down research, teaching, and service.
providing